Imagine paying $48 million for an automobile. That's the startling reality of the antique vehicle market, where rare Ferraris and vintage Mercedes rule the day. These are more than simply automobiles. They are rolling investments and works of automotive art. Billionaire collectors compete at auctions for these gems, sending prices skyrocketing. From 1950s icons to current legends, the most expensive automobiles at auction show a world of luxury and love. In this video, we are going to unveil the top 10. Number 1. 1964 Ferrari 275 GTB/C Speciale by Scaglietti. Ferrari only manufactured 3, and this one, with its magnificent Scaglietti bodywork, sparked intense pre-sale demand. Did you know it was meant to compete against Le Mans icons such as the Ford GT40 and Shelby Cobra Daytona? With a 3.3-liter V12, producing an additional 70 horsepower and enhanced brakes and suspension, this car was designed to win. However, a weight disagreement nearly derailed it. Only one of these beauties ever raced, and this was not it. Instead, this 275 GTB-C was driven as a road car, adored by its Italian owner and later collectors. As a result, it still has its original engine and is in excellent shape. When it was auctioned off in Monterey, California in 2014, it brought a whopping $26.4 million. Would you pay that for a piece of car history? Number 2. 1967 Ferrari 275 GTB/4-star NART Spider. What makes a historic car genuinely unique? Is it the design, the history, or the narratives it tells? All of the above apply to the 1967 Ferrari 275 GTS/4NART Spider. This amazing car belonged to Eddie Smith, a former mayor of Lexington, North Carolina, who maintained it in the family until it was sold at auction in 2013 for a staggering $27.5 million. Can you imagine having a vehicle with such a legacy? One unusual detail: the automobile was originally blue but was repainted red. When a vehicle show judge questioned the chrome grille, Eddie famously said, "It was on there when I picked it up from the factory." Talk about confidence. The NART in its name stands for North American Racing Team, which is run by Ferrari's U.S. importer Luigi Chinetti, who convinced Ferrari to produce only 10 of these open-top beauties. This automobile, the first manufactured, appeared in the Thomas Crown Affair and competed successfully at Sebring. Would you describe this as the perfect balance of exclusivity and performance? Number 3. 1956 Ferrari 290 MM. What makes a vehicle genuinely priceless? Is it the performance, the history, or the tales that propel it? The 1956 Ferrari 290 MM checks all of the boxes. This beauty competed in the renowned Mille Miglia, finishing 4th behind none other than racing legend Juan Manuel Fangio. Can you imagine owning a car inspired by such greatness? But it does not end there. Legends such as Alfonso de Portago and Wolfgang von Trips raced this 320 horsepower, 3.5-liter 512 beast, adding to its reputation. When it went up for auction in New York in 2015, it sold for a whopping $28.05 million, making it the most expensive car ever sold in the city. With a pristine racing record and meticulous ownership, this Ferrari is more than just a vehicle. It's a golden ticket to the world's most exclusive classic car events. What would you do if you had this piece of history? Drive it or keep it? Number 4. 1954 Mercedes-Benz W196. How much would you pay to buy a piece of Formula One history? The Mercedes-Benz W196 Grand Prix car, piloted by the renowned 5-time Formula One world champion Juan Manuel Fangio, sold for an astonishing $29.6 million, 19.6 million pounds, at the Goodwood Festival of Speed in 2013. Can you imagine having a vehicle with such a legacy? This wasn't just any automobile, it was the only W196, not in Mercedes' collection or a museum at the time, making it a unique find. Even more astounding, it is the most successful W196 in racing history. With such an unrivaled lineage, it's no surprise bidders went crazy over it. Would you keep a car like this in a museum, or dare to drive it? This Mercedes isn't just a vehicle, it's a symbol of motorsport greatness and a piece of Fangio's remarkable legacy. Owning it is like holding the crown jewel of Formula One. How would you feel about that? Number 5. 1967 Ferrari 412 P Berlinetta. Can you picture having an automobile so stunning that it stops people in their tracks? The Ferrari 412 P Berlinetta is a beauty on wheels. But its stunning appearance isn't the only reason it sold for a whopping $30.25 million. Its incredible history cemented the deal. This 412P, chassis number 0854, is one of only two produced for Ferrari's top racing clients. It was first sold to Ferrari's UK importer, Colonel Ronnie Hoare, who raced it in its spectacular red and blue livery alongside renowned racers such as Richard Atwood and Lucien Bianchi. Later, Ferrari racer David Piper drove it around the world, testing its limitations. After years of tough racing, it was meticulously restored over a 9-year period before passing into the hands of affluent collectors. Here's the best part. This V12 beauty is completely road legal. Would you dare to drive it, or would you preserve it as a valued possession? Number 6. 1957. Ferrari 335 Sport Scaglietti. Can you fathom driving a car worth $35.77 million? The Ferrari 335 Sport Scaglietti is more than simply stunning looks. It holds the record for the most expensive open-top automobile ever sold at auction. It has an incredible racing history. This curvaceous beauty was not meant for leisurely rides with the wind in your hair. It was designed for speed and competitiveness. From the arduous Sebring 12 Hours to the renowned Mille Miglia and even Le Mans, this Ferrari's seen it all. Can you imagine the sound of its engine and the excitement of those races? This car was sold in 2016 and is a piece of motorsport history with a priceless tale. But here's a question. If you owned a car like this, would you drive it or store it in a museum? In any case, it's the type of vehicle that dreams and records are built of. Number 7. 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO. Which is the most expensive historic automobile in the world? Even non-car fanatics would probably guess Ferrari 250 GTO, and they'd be correct. This iconic model has often shattered auction records. Take the 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO Berlinetta, for example. It sold for a staggering price in 2014, making it the most expensive car ever auctioned, a title it kept for 4 years. Why such a high price? It was designed to dominate the 1963 FIA World GT Championship, which it won, thus establishing its position in motorsport history. With only 36 ever manufactured, this GTO stands out for its flawless racing successes and distinguished drivers. If you possess such a car, would you keep it as a museum piece or take it for a thrilling drive? The options are as intriguing as the car itself. 1962 Ferrari 330 LM 250 GTO by Scaglietti. Imagine owning a piece of racing history like this, Ferrari 250 GTO, which sold for a staggering sum in a 2023 Sotheby's auction in New York. While it fell short of the $60 million estimate, its enormous worth earned it a spot in an art auction. Talk about making cars feel like works of art, right? This particular 250 GTO chassis number 3765 is unusual in that it was the only one raced by the Scuderia Ferrari squad. It competed in the 1962 24 Hours of Le Mans, with luminaries such as Mike Parks and Lorenzo Bandini driving, and finished strongly at the Nürburgring. Its previous owner kept it for 38 years. Can you imagine the stories this car could tell? With such a rich racing history, how much would you pay for something like this? Number 9. 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe. Have you ever imagined having an automobile worth more than $130 million? That is precisely what happened with the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe, the most expensive vehicle ever sold at auction. Rudolf Uhlenhaut, Mercedes' top engineer, designed it, and only 2 were ever produced, making it extremely rare. The sale was so exclusive that it was invitation only, conducted in the Mercedes-Benz Museum in Germany, and only 10 bidders were permitted in. And it worked. The car sold for a staggering $135 million. Even though it wasn't raced, this automobile used a 3.0-liter straight-8 engine from the renowned W196R, which was driven by racing hero Juan Manuel Fangio. Can you imagine having a piece of history like this and being told to look after it as Mercedes did? How much would you be willing to pay for such a famous vehicle? If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates.